want to show you how you can log in to your website, your WordPress website, and start making edits to it. So first of all, the easiest thing to do is to put your website name into your browser and go to your homepage, and then just type in /WP hyphen admin, whoops, and hit return, and that will take you to your login page. And I will provide you with login details, or hopefully you've got a username and password. Of course, if you've forgotten your password, you can just do a password reset. And I've got mine saved, so then we can just log in. And here we go. And then it will take you to your dashboard of WordPress, and that's where you can start to edit your website. So we use Divi as our default theme for all of our websites. And if you're not sure whether or not you've got Divi on your WordPress website, if you look down the left hand side here, scroll all the way down, and you'll see here that Divi is listed right at the bottom, and that's the theme that we're using. Another way that you can check is to go to Appearance and then Themes and click there. And this will show you very clearly what theme we're running. So we can see clearly we're using Divi. Now, when we use the Divi theme, it has a clever building interface. That means it's much more clever than the default WordPress. So when you go to edit something, edit a page, it's not as simple as just using WordPress. So the best way to do this, there's two ways that you can edit a page. So one is to go to your Pages menu on the left hand side, and then we'll see all of the pages on the website. And then you can click in to one of those pages to open it. So let's do our home page. And then it will open with the default WordPress interface. Now, it looks a bit alarming because there's no content on there, but we saw a minute ago that there was definitely content on the website. And actually, that's because we're using the Divi Builder. And the Divi Builder is a builder interface that sits on top of WordPress that enables us to do all kinds of things that WordPress doesn't do. So in order to edit your post, or your page, sorry, we're going to click into this purple button, Edit with the Divi Builder, and that will launch into the Divi Builder interface. And the way that it works is that you see the website as it looks, and you can edit it in that way. So we can see, as I move my mouse around the screen, different things are highlighted, and these are all of the different elements on the page. So we've got three types of things on the page. We've got sections, which are highlighted with this blue box. And so you can have a whole section, you can have a background for that section, for example. Generally speaking, you won't need to edit a section. Then within a section, you have a row, and that row can have different columns. And if you click into it, you can see there's a green outline. And in fact, we can have specify different columns within this green one. And that tells us what layout we will have for our modules. And then within the rows, we have these grey boxes, and each of these are modules. So modules come in lots of different forms. Divi has lots of types of them. We have text modules, which this is a text module. We have image modules, we have button modules, and a whole range of different kinds of modules that do different things. And we can edit any of these. And as you roll over any of these, you can see that a little box pops up with some icons along the top. And the blue sections, the green rows, and the grey modules all have the same little icons. On the left, you can see that there's a move icon, so we can actually click and hold and move this around the page. And where it would appear is that little grey line. I'm not actually going to move it. I'm going to pop it back to where it was. Ooh, it's actually underneath where I had it. So let's pop it back to where it was. And then what's next? We have a little settings icon, which should be familiar. And if you click on the settings icon, this is where you'll be making your edits. And you can see, depending on what kind of module it is, different things might appear. And we can move it around the page and we can make it bigger if we want. But we can see that we can edit the text here. And as soon as we make a change, it appears on the site, so we can see exactly what it's going to look like. We can add links, we can change the background, but basically you probably will only want to make changes to the text because hopefully the design is pretty much sorted out. You can actually click directly into the text when we're in the Visual Builder and highlight bits of it and change it. However, I personally find that I sometimes get a bit confused with what I'm clicking on, and sometimes I prefer to just have the separate builder open because I want to edit more than just the text. I might want to edit the where it looks or something like that. So for example, if I wanted to, let's just go back in here. We can see that it's specified as a heading. You could change it to a different level of heading. And if you see these tabs along the top here, in the middle tab, the design tab, that will help us to specify what it looks like. Now, when we use Divi, we upload a default font for the whole site and it will use that default font. But you could go in and perhaps select an alternative typeface for just that module or a different size if you wanted it to be bigger or smaller than the rest of the site, add in spacing, different color, that sort of thing. So you might find the design tab is also a little bit useful. And then we can run up and down the page. Oops, I've got an alarm going off. And you can see that, you know, it's acting as it is when we see it on the website, but we've also got these modules that we can click into and change any of them if we want to. So we've got this whole website here. Great, fantastic. So very importantly, we need to make sure we save everything. So at the bottom of the page, you've got this purple circle with the dot. So when we click that, we get some more settings. The most important one is over here on the right-hand side, the save button. And actually, if you navigate away from the page, it will prompt you to save anyway. But it's always good to save in the process. And also we have some different options on the left-hand side here. So first of all, we're in our default desktop view, but we can also, by clicking the button next to it, we can see what it looks like on a tablet, and we can also see what it looks like on a phone. I mean, they're generic sizes, and in fact, within this we can select specific phones that have different sizes, so we can see what they're going to look like on those different devices. So if you're adding pictures and things like that, then it can be quite useful to just check what it looks like. And there's also another way that we can view the website, and that is through a modular way, through a wireframe. So if we go to this little button right on the left of this grey bar, it shows us the structure of the site, the wireframe. So all of these sections and rows and modules are listed in block format. So we can't really see what it looks like, but we can clearly see what they are, types of modules, and we can label them as well. So if we go into, for example, this one, we can see I have given this one a label. It's a coffee cup, so we could go in to this image here. We can see that's the image, and that's actually where you label. It's down the bottom there, the admin label. So sometimes I'm very good at labeling them and sometimes not so much, but it's quite a good idea to label them so that if you do view the website through this way, it's easy to see what module refers to what different object. And then we can easily, you can make a change there. And then if you want to see what it looks like, you can then navigate back to the desktop view. So I prefer to use the desktop view and then just pop into the modules, because then you can see it dynamically change as soon as you make a change. So that's really useful to me. So I also mentioned there's another way to get into the page. And that is, let's just create a new tab here. Webzang, there it is. And when you're logged in already to your WordPress account and you go into your website, you'll see that you'll know you're logged in because you'll see this little black bar across the top that shows that you're logged into WordPress. And we've got two ways that we can access the content on the page. So we can see here that the enable visual builder is at the top. And when we in this version, we're interacting with the page as if we were just on any website. But once we enable visual builder, that then connects the builder element and it will turn us to that modular view that we can edit. So this familiar, again, we can see the frames of all the modules there, and then we can just exit the visual builder if we wanted to say click on a link to a different page, and you can move around the website, whereas when you're in the builder you can only edit. You also might want to think about the SEO of the page or the title of the page or the featured image, and in which case we can just click on edit page, and that will take us back to the native WordPress builder that we started off with, and we can see various things here down the right hand side. We've got the permalink, that's what the URL is. The featured image, we haven't set that yet. Various other things you can specify there, and also we've got a Yoast plugin, an SEO plugin down the bottom here, but I'm going to save that for another day. So now you should have a really good idea about how you can log in to your WordPress website using Divi and navigate to a page and how to edit a page on your website. Of course, if you have any problems logging in, if you've forgotten your login details, or you need some help editing your Divi site, please feel free to get in touch with us at webzang.co.uk.